Super loud.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on the September 9th, 2024 Board of Supervisors meeting. Would you please stand and join with me? Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the The board met in executive session before this meeting to discuss personnel and litigation matters. Agenda presentation. First, we have the Pennsylvania Law Enforcement Accreditation presentation. Chief.
Yes, Madam Chair. Tonight we have with us from the PA Chiefs Accreditation Program, the coordinator, James Adams. So I'll introduce James and he'll come up and speak a little bit about accreditation and see what present application.
Thank you, Chief. First of all, I want to thank you for allowing me this opportunity. I could just come and hand this off, but there's so much work that goes into becoming accredited and what this certificate actually represents. So if I could just indulge you for just a brief minute to let you know what this means for not only the police department, but you as the elected officials here in the township. Our accreditation program right now has 125 standards or 125 best practices for law enforcement that your police department has met. They started a journey about 2-3 years ago under the leadership of your chief to take a look at the 125 standards that are in place, look at the policies that are currently in place for your police department and make sure that there's policies, special operations, procedures in place to meet all of those best practices. Once they've accomplished that, then they also have to have what we call proofs of compliance. It's one thing to have a great policy manual sitting on your shelf, but if nobody follows the policy, it really doesn't do you any good. So for each one of those 125 standards, they have to show 2 proofs of compliance that occurred within the prior 12 months. And they have that all assembled, and they go through what's called a mock assessment as sort of their dress rehearsal. And then they contact my office and we assign 3 assessors to come and spend 2 days on site, going through your policy manual, interviewing people, doing ride-alongs with your police officers and comparing their policy manual to our 125 best practices. Actually, that 125 is a little bit of a misstatement because within those 125 best practices and providing police services, there are a lot of what we call bullets or sub best practices. And when you add them all up, there's actually 370 best practices that your police department complies with. Right now, we have 172 police departments accredited in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, including yours. We have, depending on what day you count them, about 1,100 municipal police departments across Pennsylvania. So right now, your police department is in the top 13%. There's only about 13% of the police departments that are accredited. This is not a certificate for life. In fact, a lot of police departments find it's harder to stay accredited than it was to become accredited. Since the program rolled out in 2001, we've accredited about 220 police departments. We currently have 172. Why is that? We lose 1 or 2 every year for a multitude of reasons, which I won't bore you with. But the key thing is your police department's accredited. So what does that do? How meaningful is that? The insurance companies are starting to recognize it because the studies show that when you compare like police departments, the accredited police departments get sued less often than the non-accredited police departments. And when they do get sued and there's a payout, the accredited police departments or municipalities for those police departments pay out significantly less than the non-accredited. That shows that there is value. The other thing, and I go back, it's a little bit dated, but when the George Floyd incident happened and there was a big push for police reform, 8 of our state legislators came out with the 8 Can't Wait initiatives. 8 initiatives that they said every police department needs to adopt right now because they're so important. Well, guess what? All 8 of those were already standards that we had. They were in place long before it became the thing to do. And that's something we're constantly working on. We have a standing committee that constantly reviews legislature, what's going on as far as in the communities and stuff. And much of the chagrin of our accreditation managers for the police departments, standards change every year because we always try to keep them current and speaking on what's going on today and in the future. Don't know if you pay attention to the federal and state grants, but Department of Justice came out under the Trump administration with 2 credentialing standards that to get any DOJ money for law enforcement, you had to be credentialed. Well, those 2 credentialing standards we already had in our program. Under the Biden administration, they updated the executive order. There are now 20 credentialing standards that if you want Department of Justice money, you need to be credentialed. Your police department already has that taken care of. Okay, they're ahead of the game. So, like I said, this is not a certificate for life. Annually, your department is going to have to send me a very lengthy questionnaire that they're self-attesting, that they're complying with all the standards. And then every 3 years, they get to go through it again. We send a new team of assessors in, and they have to show that all of those standards, those best practices are adhered to. I could stand here and talk all night long about accreditation. I'm sure you have more important things to do, but seriously, those 125, those 370 best practices, if you want to take a look at them, you can go on the Pennsylvania Chiefs of Police public-facing webpage. Just Google pachiefs.org. There's an accreditation tab. Click on it. There's a bunch of information there. All those 125 standards or best practices are posted publicly, so you can take a look at them. But if you have questions, you have resident experts here in-house that understand accreditation and what those standards mean. So without any further ado, I'd like to publicly present the certificate granting accredited status to your police department. Chief.
No. Thank you.
You want to get in with your office?
Yeah, we'll get the officers there first and Sandy. As Jim said, accreditation is, there's a lot that goes into it. Some of the people I'd like to recognize that really put a lot of effort into this is our administrative assistant, Sandra Ezzo, and our detective Sean McGuire. They had to put up with me almost every day and asking for improvements, but the team here also contributes every day to us getting those certificates. Great, thank you. And then if you guys want to check, please. Okay. With your permission, I'll be posting this on the PHE's website. So we'll be on. Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Staying in the vein of the wonderful police department, presentation B, appointment and administration of the oath of office to the entry level police officer. Chief.
Yes, Madam Chair. As previously discussed in executive sessions and board meetings, we are hiring an additional officer in order to grow the staff and hopefully make some leadership adjustments. So we've done our due diligence with the interview process, background investigations. At this time, we'd like to recommend Michael Kilroy be appointed as entry-level police officer. And swear him in, by Judge Armitage.
Do I have a motion for, to follow chief's recommendation?
Make a motion.
Bill, do I have a second? I'll second. Mary Beth, all those in favour, please say aye. Aye. Motion passes.
So if I can have Michael. Cole.
Yeah.
Front and center.
She says with conviction. Well, hello, how are you? What are you? Nicole, hi, how are you? I'm Jen Dorrance. Hi. Love them on their faces, but like start by saying congratulations to all you guys. Of course, now it's at every 3 years, did he say it has to be? There you go. You'll be part of that squad. Be swearing in. So with that, I will have you swear you in and repeat after me, please. I, Michael Kilroy,
I, Michael Kilroy,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
to support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and that I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth
and I will enforce the laws of this Commonwealth,
and the ordinances of New Britain Township,
the ordinances of New Britain,
and that I will discharge my duties of my office as police officer
discharge my duties as police officer
for New Britain Township with honor and fidelity.
Sorry.
For New Britain, you're not the first. Don't be about it. And fidelity. I should do it. I do further swear
first,
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
that I will uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
Believe me, I know it's a mouthful, but you just did it. Congratulations, officer.
No, right.
Oh. Oh, congratulations, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
You guys want to give me?
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank Wait. One. Wait, for my bed.
Thank you.
To the bed.
Well, for myself, thank you, police, our department. It shows great commitment and dedication to doing accreditation, and welcome to our newest member for joining a great police staff. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, it is. What? No, I wasn't sure. about it.
Yeah.
So, why they took the RS stuff, but then when they had the cameras out.
Yeah. It's always a pleasure. You make the town. So, I'll see, have a good evening.
Perfect.
I'm sure they know it's right.
Okay, we want to take a break?
Ready? Let's go to get this done real quick.
Thank you. Moving on, agenda item B, I should consider consent agenda. Consent agenda A. B, approve regular bills as follows, dated August 21st, 2024, in the amount of $96,348.66. Dated September 4th, 2024, in the amount of $55,266.76. Prepaid bills list as follows, August 8th, 2024, in the amount of $85,735.23. August 14th, 2024, in the amount of $15,200. August 1, 2024, in the amount of $1,947.07. August 29, 2024, in the amount of $112,073.43. September 4th, 2024, in the amount of $9,915.76. D, approve escrow release 2 for 409 West Butler Avenue in the amount of $287,815. E, approve contractor's application for payment 2 of Brittany Farm Streambank Stabilization Project in the amount of $69,319. And F, approve change order number 1 for Brittany Farm Streambank Stabilization Project contract extension until November 15th. Are there any questions from the board? Is there any information from the staff? No? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion to approve the consent agenda.
Stephanie, do I have a second? Beth, all those in favor, please say aye. Motion passes. Agenda item 6, action items. A, consider a motion to accept and approve the portable lighting equipment use agreement for Pennsylvania Rush Soccer Club at West Branch Park. Do I have a motion?
No move.
Bill, do I have a second? Second. Dan or Scott?
Take it.
Yeah, Scott.
Simply every year, PA Rush use West Branch Park. Like myself, it gets dark starting, as we can see right now. That makes soccer practice in the fall very tough. Just a request in along with their permit application to use portable lights at the field, through, I believe, the middle of November. They
Action item E, consider a motion to approve the outline and project schedule for township website enhancement. Do I have a motion? Bill, do I have a second? Bridget? Dan, would you like to take this?
Actually, we're gonna pass it over to Alex.
I'll take it. So this is just kind of a general outline of what we would like to do regarding the website overhaul, I'm gonna call it. So kind of one of the first stages is we would like to get a committee together between staff and supervisors and just kind of get general thoughts of what we would like to see the website to look like. What do we like out there now? What do we want to see for us? What's user friendly for our residents, not necessarily for everybody, but what do we want to see here specifically? The website itself is going to take probably 6 to 8 months from start to finish. That's pretty typical for a website turnaround time. And that's kind of what this general outline is showing from start to finish. And then the first few months is really going to be design based, vendor based, and then getting those details in place. We have a lot of the material already on our website, so that's helpful from a starting point. It's more so just revamping that material and then transferring it onto the new platform. So that's really what we're going to be focusing on for the most part.
Paul?
We accelerate that program schedule because it seems like. I know it takes some time, but that was one of our priorities, get done. And I think it could be done a little sooner.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's certainly the goal. obviously from November to February, so between stages 2 and 3, I accounted for the holidays. So that's why there's some fluff time in there as well. But yeah, I mean, I think we all want it to be done as soon as possible too, just because it's not user friendly for residents and it's not user friendly for staff either. Like I have to rely on someone else to post things to the website when I wish I could just do it myself. So it's kind of, fighting to.
One of the things that I think you'll find is the vendor will drive the time schedule.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once, the hard part, not the hard part, is finding what we like and then finding the vendor we're comfortable with. And then the vendor basically will control the flow.
Right.
And
Did anybody else just stuff ago, and I just sent it to you today. Look at other township websites and see what you like and.
I've been looking, obviously, Stephanie sent something over today, you did today, Mary Beth. And again, the staff has been looking, we're looking at other towns and right now 2 to 3 vendors are the ones that are the names that are coming up. And what we'll do is we'll get the committee together, then we'll meet with those vendors. And they demo their product and we figure out which one we like the best that fits us. And then we go from there, so. Somebody threw their name in.
Happy to help as well.
Great.
Yeah, and from the staff side, it would probably be, Alex is gonna run the project, it's gonna be hers, I'll assist, and we're looking at Shell. Because chances are, between Alex and Shell, they'll be the 2 that will be populating. And at least administrating the website from a staff side. And I think it'd be really good to have both of them, well, obviously Alex, but really good to have Shell involved. If she's going to be operating it, so she'll know the nuts and bolts.
So.
We'll get started.
Yeah.
I don't know if you need,
I know you asked, I thought you asked for a motion.
you did have a motion, so you might as well. Yeah,
On the table to go ahead with the outline project as scheduled. So with the contingent that we'd all like to show a little faster.
Yes.
The 2 board of supervisors who will be, the 2 supervisors who will be joining the staff will be Bridget and Stephanie. We'll call that motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 7, information items. First item, department reports. Dan.
From Park and Rec and Public Works, they are focusing, obviously Park and Rec's, cutting grass and doing all their normal stuff. But the two departments together are working to finish up the basketball court and the paving of the north arch trail out back here. The anticipated timeline for that is they hope to start the paving part of it later this week. They're scratching it right now, getting off the top coat. And then they'll start the paving part of it. They did a lot of the prep work last week on it. So it's gonna roll this week. So that's for Park and Rec and Public Works. That's where they're basically focusing all their time right now. We are doing paving in-house, just like we did with the basketball court. It's gonna be borderline because it has to sit and cure before you, not only walk on it, before you stripe it. You have to get all the oil out of it. It has to sit for 4 weeks and we'll be just on the edge of that. And considering the heat we had when they put it down, they probably rather prefer not to rush. So this weather is perfect for it though. Cool nights are great. As Craig would tell you. Finance report, I'll just give you a couple of highlights. this is the August 31st report. And bear with me 1 second while I flip to it. All the funds are running kind of where they should be, just to give you an idea, the revenue for through 8/31, we're at just under 60% revenue collected. And expenditures were at 61%. So we're kind of tracking right about where we should be overall. And the general fund is our biggest fund, obviously, but the numbers are all in line to what we anticipate. There's no outlier in the report that jumps out at us right now. They are, there's a couple that, yes, they are. The trail right now is the big one, the basketball court and the trail work. And the equipment all the equipment's in, the vehicles are in, all the vehicles are in, the code vehicles are in and operating. So yes.
Chief. You're gonna be
Yeah, it is a big week. Thank you for all your support for the accreditation and for hiring Officer Kilroy. I think he'll be a good addition to the team. Just some highlights, since you have my July report in front of you, I'll have my August report at the next board meeting. But we did complete 2 Kona Ice with a Cop events, which were the residents were very receptive to, and the officers had a good time as well. Also, we finished up the Shrine Festival yesterday. We had no incidents whatsoever, so that went very well. Otherwise, we're looking forward to the Fall Festival, and I think October is going to be a busy month for us as well with some events.
glad to hear about the community events were well received.
I heard the water ice was a big hit.
Oh, and we'll have water ice, Rita's water ice at Fall Fest to hand out.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Since I get most of my questions on your township projects, I'll just look through the list here real quick. Tonight, but one thing I want to point out, wasn't sure if Dan was going to, we just got an update on the paving and concrete milling for the road program. Since Ryan's not here, all the roads are getting concrete work or mill work this week, and then looks like next week we'll wrap up milling and concrete work with most of the paving.
Yeah, I actually did forward out that
Okay.
schedule to the board this afternoon when we got it.
All right, so that's the road program. Janine's finalizing your annual MS4 stormwater reports due at the end of this month, so I think I'll have an update for you at the next meeting. Keller Road Bridge, I know Dan sent out through his manager's report the status of opportunity we had, but some information we got from the county. And we had a staff meeting on that, and I believe he updated you on, we're just not ready to get started on that yet. You have to go through the capital planning budget. The costs are so high that, I think we're on the same page with trying to plan, design all that, and then apply it the next cycle, and hopefully get some money for that bridge. Coleman property and the trail, Dan updated you. The big thing we've been working on also is the ordinance amendments. We did incorporate, we got a bunch of recommendations, PEC, EAC, Janine's already done most of that. We had a staff meeting on August 26th with Dan and the staff, and we pretty much were in agreement on everything. I think there's a few things we didn't agree with, and I think we all agreed on that as well. So that was nice. There wasn't a lot of going back and forth. So we're making those changes. I'll have maybe more of an update for you at the next meeting on stormwater. And Janine's working on getting Scott the zoning changes. And hopefully, I think he said we can turn it around in October, and for authorization to advertise and get that out. So we'll get some movement in October and get it out for everybody and get the legal process started, the time clock started on that. Hopefully adoption in December, if we don't have any major surprises. And then I got asked a couple times on the North Branch Pine Run Park survey. That has been done. And we gave all that, we actually uploaded all the plans and everything to the township server I think it was July. And you have access to all that. We can manipulate those plans for any project, future police building, new admin, whatever you want to do. For this whole property in Pine Run, we can zoom in, manipulate the data, and you have all that now. So that was a week and a half ago. We will have a planning commission meeting, I think it's the 24th. Dave and I spoke on Friday. We have two very small, car wash that you're aware of that finish up that review as a planning commission. If they decide to proceed at all, I talked to their attorney, they decide once they get the letter. And then a 4-lot subdivision on Berry Road. So we have a planning commission. So, that's all I have.
I did. The thing that you just put. So do you need any special, programs or anything to be able to look at it? Is it? just-
Another PDF.
PDF?
PDF, so you can zoom in yourself, you can look at the playground area. They just thought of me, we did, I'm not sure if there's an aerial overlay, I'll have to check on that, I think we actually did, I think. So you can look and see the playground equipment and zoom in, and look at the survey data, the tree. We can also create a working plan like in Public Works wants to print a larger plan, start marking things up, which is kind of the basis for what you wanted to do. So, but all that's been done. And that was what you had approved for this year, was the budget. Your entire property. Is the thing you should be aware of. I don't know who you're talking about. I did not review for encroachment. That's what you're referring to. There are, yes, you can see all that. You can see every detail there. Along your entire property, and then the Pine Run, you own way a lot further away, so we just did the trail creek area for the renovations there, bridges. Good.
Okay, Board of Supervisors comments. I'm going to start with this end. Bridget.
Okay, just want to remind, here and also our residents that we do have, our Fall Fest coming up, which, the Veterans Committee is busy working, contacting people, our events coordinator. That's Saturday, September 21st, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at North Branch Park, which is right outside the Township Building. We're having lots of vendors, lots of fun stuff for the kids to do. It should be a great time, weather permitting, so everybody pulled out, but beautiful weather keeps up, and we have this. And we are in need of volunteers, so if anyone wants to volunteer to help out with vendor check-in or to host, some of the inflatables and make sure the kids are being safe. Or some of the other stuff like that, that would be great. And I think we're gonna be working on putting together a sign-up sheet for individual slots that we need to fill. That will page. And other than that, people can email events@nbtpa.us if they're interested in helping, or it's not too late to sign up as a vendor. I think our vendor tables are very inexpensive, like $30 a table, which is pretty good. It's got a small business or wants to make themselves, so.
I'd just like to commend Chief Richard Blauser for all his hard work that he's done since he came to the township. Accreditation has been your goal and you've achieved it now, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Bill?
I would just go along with Mary Beth and your hard work and diligence in getting this through. I think there was some points where you weren't sure you were gonna be able to get a grade. Wonderful office area, yeah. But here. Thank you.
Stephanie?
Just want to say thank you to the Veterans Committee and Bridget for jumping in and working on the Fall Fest. I think it sounds like it's gonna be a great event. Hopefully a lot of people come out with their families. The long range forecast looks good, so hopefully that stays. Chief, thank you for all your hard work on the accreditation. It's a huge undertaking and we really appreciate that you did it, and now we have to maintain it, right? But thank you. Congratulations to you and the rest of the department.
Great presentation, present, and wonderful people for the department. Thank you very much.
I will also like to add that I was actually working into some of our township police as to see this, within this past week. And I was like, well, actually, we have really great police force in the Brandon Township, so it was nice to be able to brag about you guys.
All right, announcements. Well, no public comment at the moment. We have a budget workshop, which is our first one for the year on Tuesday, September 17th at 8:30 a.m. It is a public meeting. Please come and join us if you would like to hear the ins and outs of our budget. Park and Rec meeting will be on Tuesday, September 17th at 7 p.m. Veterans Committee meeting will be on Wednesday, September 18th at 6 p.m. If you'd like to come hear the final details of Fall Fest on the 21st, from 10 to 3 outside. And then our zoning hearing board meeting will be on Thursday, September 19th at 7 p.m. Our next Board of Supervisors meeting will be Monday, September 23, 7 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Stephanie, do I have a second?
Second.
Bill? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion accepted.
And